Hey guys, it's me King Diablo, and in today's video I'll show you the character balance patch for Hashashin, Gladiator, Zayed and Tamer classes. So firstly, the shield block scale of Gladiator class has been reworked. So now when you're blocking an enemy hit successfully with your shield, it now consumes mana points. Outside arena, it now consumes 20 mana points when you block an enemy hit successfully, and inside arena it now consumes 40 mana points when you block an enemy hit successfully. The mana consumption cycle has also been adjusted when you block an enemy hit successfully with your shield. The passive scale for Gladiator class has also been reworked. The shield block scale for Gladiator class now does not recover any mana points. Also, the 35% skill damage increase effect by consuming 80 mana points for the Scars of Dusk and Spinning Slash skills has now been removed. Now you get forward guard for 1 second after using the shield charge, deep thrust and piercing spear skills, but this effect is not applied in arena. Also, now you get a 30% damage increase effect when using the Spinning Slash, Scars of Dusk and Ground Smash skills within 5 seconds of using the Shield Charge, Deep Thrust and Piercing Spear skills. So now let's see Hashashin class rework. This is the first rework scale for Hashashin class. Now you can use an additional attack after using this skill by consuming 100 mana points. This additional attack does same damage as the skill, does up to 7 hits, has invincibility but it's not applied in arena, and does knock up on successful hit. The passive skill for Hashashin class has also been reworked. It now applies 60% PvP damage as follow-up damage on hit instead of 30% PvP damage when you use the infusion buff skill. But if you don't activate the infusion buff skill, then it does the normal 30% PvP damage. Also now when the passive skill effect is active and you hit an enemy successfully using the Eye of Storm, Sand Saber, Solar Strike and Breath of All skill, it now reduces the cooldown for the infusion skill by 3 seconds. Now let's see Tamer class buff. This is the first buff scale for Tamer class. After using this scale, you now get a 10% reduction in PvP damage received from other players for 3 seconds. The duration of this effect resets with every dash. This is the second buff scale for Tamer class. Now when you are riding Hailing and you use the Divine Roar scale after using the Beck and Call scale, it does a huge area damage in front of you. Also now when you use the hotspot skill after using the Lupin Pound skill, the hotspot skill activates faster and you now teleport to your opponent instantly and deal additional damage to them. Also now when you hit an enemy successfully by using the hotspot skill, it now inflicts a black wound effect on your enemy. This black wound effect increases the damage your opponent receives from other players by 10%. It also reduces the healing effect of your opponent by 15% and this effect is not stackable. Now let's see Zayed class buff. The passive skill for Zayed class has now been buffed. Now when you're using the passive skill effect for Zayed class, you receive a 10% reduction in the final damage received from other players for 1 second. Also, a new flow has been added to the passive skill of Zayed class to properly describe the passive skill effects for this class. This new flow does not add any kind of new effects to the passive skill, it's just for description. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share. I'll see you in the next video.